It's not easy living with your spouse while you're getting a divorce. It might be best if one person moves out. In this video, we'll discuss how you can make that happen. Let's talk about it. Living with your spouse while you're going through your divorce can be difficult, to say the least. You have all the emotional upset that comes with your divorce, and you still have to see each other every single day. It can be overwhelming, unhealthy, and perhaps unsafe. You might be thinking that it's best if you leave or have your spouse leave. These decisions can have serious consequences and should be carefully discussed with your attorney. There are a number of ways you can get your spouse to move out during the divorce. If you think that's best, we can work with you to make it happen without costing you a fortune. Together, we can get you a little peace of mind while you're going through this very difficult process. The first way to get your spouse out of the house during your divorce is by agreement. You and your spouse sit down together and decide that one person is going to leave while the divorce is happening. But you have to be careful. If you're the spouse that's leaving and you have children in particular, you want to make sure that your new place has somewhere where you can have your children for visitation and parenting time. If not, that could cause you problems down the road when you ultimately go for custody and/or visitation. The second way you can get your spouse out of the house during the divorce process itself is through a restraining order or a harassment prevention order. Now, these orders are not just for divorce cases. Anyone can always apply for them. There are differences between the two, but there are many similarities as well. In order to get a restraining order, you must prove to the court that you are in fear of your physical safety. So if there's been history of domestic violence, if there are threats, things along those lines, you want to make sure you let the court know so that an order can enter. For a harassment prevention order, you have to show the court that there have been at least 3 separate incidents of harassing behavior. Whether it's a restraining order or a harassment prevention order, the court can order another person to stay away and have no contact with you, and that includes staying away from your marital home. Another way you can get your spouse to move out of the marital home during your divorce is through temporary orders. The use of the marital home by one person only is one of the issues that can be addressed in temporary orders. Other such issues include child custody, child support, who's going to pay the bills, such as the electric bill, the mortgage, and so forth. So there are a number of matters that can be addressed and should be addressed in temporary orders. There's one last way you can get the court to order your spouse to leave the house. But before we get there, I just want to let you know that if you go to affordlaw.org/checklist, you'll find a checklist of the 7 most important things you should be considering before filing and as you're going through your divorce process. Another way to get your spouse to leave the house during the pendency of the divorce is to get an order from the court to vacate the marital home. In order to do that, you have to file a motion and you have to have a hearing. At the hearing, you have to prove to the court that the health, safety, or welfare of you or any minor children that might be involved are at risk. These orders are reported to law enforcement, so they have that on record in case that person comes back, similar to a restraining order or a harassment prevention order. These orders are good for 90 days. They can be extended after that period of time upon a further hearing. To get such an order, you have to file a motion and give 3 days notice to the other party, that is your spouse. There will be a hearing. Now, if you feel that you are in immediate threat of your health, safety, or welfare, or that of your children, you can get an immediate order. That order will go into place right away. There will then be a hearing, which will take place within 5 days. Your spouse is given notice of that hearing so that he or she can come into court to present their side of the case. Motions to vacate the marital home can issue if the other party is not residing at the home at the time. It can also issue even if you've left the home if you were in fear for your health, safety, or welfare. Having your spouse leave your home during your divorce may be the best thing for everybody. It's not always easy, however. If you and your spouse can't agree to it, the court will have to get involved. If you have any further questions about Massachusetts divorces, please feel free to visit our next video.